We remain in the United States for the fourth race, but we go to the other side of the country. Grand Valley Highway will host the fourth race. About, we'll say, 44 hours removed from Watkins Glen. Which is funny that we gave everybody more time to travel across the U.S. than we gave them to go from fucking... not Croatia, that's the first race. Go from Switzerland to the U.S. or, spoiler alert, America to Australia. Finale is in Bathurst. But, yeah, I mean, you saw the scenario, you know?
Yeah.
My fingers didn't like the scenario. I'm sure that picked up real good on the microphone.
That's about what the spine of the Alpine driver sounded like, I assume.
Along with everything else. We are away from Grand Valley. Thomas O'Reilly is the POV driver. He should know his way around here. This is probably Black Stallion's secondary testing location other than Laguna Seca. As you can see, only 16 cars on the track. And really, some would argue that there should only be 15, but, you know, that's how it goes, I suppose. People are keeping a close eye on Aspinall here, as she could claim 3 wins in a row in a cup format. People don't even do that normally. If you do 3 in a row in a championship with what's supposed to be 19 of the best opponents you can find in a race, would just be unfeasible in my head, but she's only about 6 places away from doing it, as she covers off Takahata at the apex there. Riza.
See what's crazier is Isabel going for 3 in a row is she has not won a single one of those races as the POV driver, which for some unknown reason that the universe still hasn't explained, the POV driver just seems to be goated in races. I think extra locked in.
I guess in a manner of speaking, it's like, okay, I know I've gotta, you know, I have to push harder to get out of last, but it also takes a mental thing off of okay, well, it can't get much worse from here. I don't have to worry about losing much. And we're seeing more of it as Thomas O'Reilly is in 9th. To make that 7th, he grabs 2 places at 1 corner, while Maki and Yo, I think, were too busy squabbling, although Maki's gonna fight back at O'Reilly, as Isabel's gonna... Many people are gonna outdrag Ruby. That 8-6, man, that does not have the power to keep up here.
It's an 8-6.
It has plenty of grip, but, I mean, again, yeah, it's an 8-6, so there's only so much you can really comment on the situation. Maki stayed ahead at the first turn, but Thomas is still probing for an opportunity, and there it is down the inside at the hairpin. His team owner, meanwhile, has climbed to P2 ahead of Wanda Glass, who is once again doing her best pratfall impression. Thomas is going to get around Isabel. That's a critical overtake for, well, Thomas's own race, but also that just shows that for once, Isabel's not the quickest car on the track. And I mean, I don't think she was at Watkins Glen either, but you know, situations couldn't
When you're ahead of a parking lot, you tend to win.
Yeah, especially when you are the one who builds the parking lot and then starts setting up a toll booth so you can profit off of the parking lot. O'Reilly will eventually get the move done on the straightaway. Isabel kind of aggressively there. I'm not sure if she was, for some reason, thought she could get up to Glass, or if she's trying to keep Maki away. Thrasher has caught the 328 machine. This is, if it's a track Thomas O'Reilly probably knows, it's a track that Thrasher probably considers his home away from home, so I'm not surprised that he is one of the faster cars on the track right now, but that downforce and everything is showing its ugly side on the front stretch. Only 141 top speed.
Crazy seeing a muscle car is slow in a straight line.
But also really good at turning. This is like the un-Mustang. Although it still maintains some instability on throttle input. You can change the car, but you can't completely change the idea, I suppose. And his teammate O'Reilly is working on passing another Mustang to get into the podium positions. Effectively a 4, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the moment, but Ryza is, for lack of a better term, holding stout at the front. A weird last name. I say that like I have any room to talk, but you know. That is very close. That is bump drafting out of that hairpin, basically.
I mean, with how flat the front end of Thomas's car is and how flat the rear of Mika's car is, yeah, you could probably easily bump draft.
Well, Thomas will reject that notion and instead just pass to get onto the podium. Still more time left. He could yet take the lead if his team owner can't do it first. That's a bit of an awkward line for him through that little chicane, though. That's going to lose him some time to Ryza. As if he wasn't already about to lose some time because of the top speed difference. Oh, he just bottomed out, I think. And Thomas O'Reilly is rapidly approaching their location. 2 laps to go. Battle between Black Stallion Motorsports cars for second place. Basically fighting for the right to go after Ryza at the moment, and it looks like Thomas is going to win that encounter. Actually probably trying to minimize risk. They're running 2-3 at the moment, and if Thrasher wants to get into this championship fight at the last hour, he's going to have to stay around here. Thomas wanted to dive on Ryza, but just could not convert. Not there, you know. He'll do it there, though, embarrassing her in the middle of that turn. I mean, that looked kind of easy, honestly. Bit of dirt on his tires for good measure. I figured we'd see Isabel closer to Mika at this point. It's clear she's not getting 3 in a row, but even 2 in a row is somewhat of an anomaly in this series. Asher's still trying to get a shot at that Z8. The Group 4 car always uses different lines for these turns. I also just realized another thing that's not helping Thrasher on the front stretch is the fucking northward wind. You see in the corner of the telemetry there? That is a headwind down the front stretch. Which, Group 4 cars don't like those. All of their aero means they're extra susceptible to it, but it also means that they don't have the power to counteract it. But a really strong run out of the last turn means that even he can still fly, even without wings. He's going to put the bumper to the back of the 328, and it's not going to even achieve anything.
Yeah, that's a 13-mile-an-hour head down the front stretch.
Jeez, I guess we are by the ocean. Down the inside goes the 94. Surprised Ryza even gave him the space at the apex after the earlier contact. These two squabbling have dragged a pair of other Mustangs into the picture, as well as Maki, as the top 6 have had a massive breakaway, and I cannot overstate how big of a breakaway that is. We just have 7 and 8 and 9 on their own little islands here.
That's a lot of
It feels like I'm watching the fucking Kentucky Derby, not the Challenge Series. And there's just this BMW that just didn't understand the memo. I guess you could also count Thomas's GT51 up here. That's not a Mustang. We are one sector away from a Black Stallion Motorsports 1-2. Imagine if this were a team championship. This would be about as good as it gets. Said, I mean, it's still a big deal. But these are two drivers that haven't really been major contenders in the championship up to this point. They've run midfield every race or thereabouts. But 1-2 is a big difference still. Thomas O'Reilly wins. Team owner's right behind in second. Riza hangs on to third from pole. And Isabel is going to barely hang on to fifth over the hard-charging Maki. But the biggest thing to report here is looking at the points come out of this round, and it's close-ish, but it's like, especially with...
I think Isabel's sitting on, like, what, 69?
Yeah, of course you'd remember that. Yeah, she has 5 points over Riza and 8 over Barbara. 10 over Mika Harris, and then 15 over both Yo and Thrasher. So, even they cannot actually mathematically win the championship because only 16 cars are going to start the final round.
So you're telling me that Isabel's going into her home race only needing to finish 5th or better to lock up a title?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. The final race of the championship is here. We head to Bathurst, Mount Panorama. I think I said that backwards. You get the picture. We're in bloody Australia, mate. And there's a little bit of fog again. It's nothing like when we had at Watkins Glen. It's mostly on the higher elevation parts of the track anyway. So it's probably just altitude more than anything. Yeah. Isabel only needs...
A top 5.
Yeah. I was like, is the math right? Yeah, well, technically 6th to tie, 5th to win.
And I think she gets the tiebreaker because she has the most wins.
Yeah, she has 2. Nobody else has more than 1, obviously. And Riza didn't even win a race. That'd be the one that's closest to her.
She got edged out at, I think she's the one that got edged out at the photo finish at Trial Mountain.
Deep Forest.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got edged out by Isabel. So, we'll see if that 700th of a second is what decides the championship, or if we're just going to have an anticlimax. We are away from Mount Panorama. That was a difficult... Chica cannot go anywhere, but her teammate Yo can. Could also get smacked around between her other teammate and Celica, but four-wheel drive advantage, while limited here at Bathurst, still exists. If you're going to jump through half of the field in just one straightaway, possibly more if you can somehow outdo Thrasher under braking. That's not going to happen. Thrasher's instead going to outdo himself right into the back of Mika Harris's car. You never learn, do you? And now up to 6th, Yo is making immense fucking progress. It's supposed to be pretty easy to feel confident when you got a car with this much traction at a place like this. Weird flex, but okay. This would be a tie as they run at the moment. Yo's already into third, tailgating second. Is she gonna lead lap 1? Is she gonna go from 16th to 1st in a single Bathurst lap? I almost just said a single Bathurst and I had a tack on lap at the end of the sentence to sound less dumb.
Is Riker okay?
No.
Does Riker need therapy after walking squad?
No. Maybe.
Alright.
Nice camera work. A flair for the dramatic. There's second place. I think Maki's just a little too far ahead for Yo to complete the one-lap magic here. Ryza makes a critical overtake on Glass. And Isabel did not match. She did not make up any places.
Oh, but we are cars pitting.
Yeah, that will change the landscape of the race. Looks like we already knew Mika. Thomas gets damage as well. I didn't see what happened to him. So right after a POV driver passed. Oh,
Is that it?
flirting with disaster there, Isabel. Lucky you got that fucking bumper guard. That could have been the choke of the century. Instead, she now sits poised to make up places on the straightaway, although Dia is gonna sit her big Porsche right in the middle of the track. Isabel's still gonna get her way by. Maybe.
And if she can just get ahead of On the Glass, that's the title right there.
She doesn't even need to, well, okay, yeah, to clinch it, yeah, but if Ryza can't get to the front, which, I mean, look at the distance between her and the leader already, as Yo got the lead at turn 1, I think. That would be a very difficult hill to climb. So it just kind of comes down to, yeah, whoops. So it just kind of comes down to, can Ryza put 5 cars between herself and Isabel Aspinall? And the answer right now is looking like a big fat ass no. Not when Isabel is continuing to gain places by the looks of things. That's not a common overtaking spot in this series. Dia's gonna try and follow her through the cracks, but not gonna work. Rain's not gonna be fooled twice. And I reckon Aspinall's got the power advantage on that RX-7 too. Jesus, 175 buzzing the limiter. Never mind, that's a telemetry bug. 183. I think it ticked over to 184 at the apex of the kink.
185, I believe.
In a 640 class car, yeah, this thing is a fucking weapon. I don't think that needs to be explained at where we are in this championship, but yeah. At the end of the day, it is the driver, but if you've got a crazy car, that never hurts.
Yeah.
Ford have tuned that thing up right.
I'll bet Isabel's got, what, several hundreds, if not thousands of laps around here?
I don't know about thousands. Her supercar's career was literally a year and a couple of weeks.
So she's done at least 161 laps.
Yeah, because she finished on the podium in that race. Her only podium. So...
Then all the Town Series runs here.
yeah, I would say...
run a couple hundred laps here.
Yeah, and she's done other, like, smaller events here, too. Support events and shit, so... I would say it's probably in the 300s range. That's still a lot of experience, and... even a couple laps of experience here can be worth seconds on the minute here. And we're just seeing it as she just sends it on the top of the hill while Velvet is quaking in her boots ahead and backing Ryza up into her title rival. Not that it's much of a title fight at this point now.
So not thinking about if I finish here, I cling. It's more so if I can if that BMW's in her rearview mirror, she still wins.
I don't have to outrun the bear, I just have to outrun Ryza. I'd be surprised if we even see Isabelle try to pass, considering, you know, there's no point. Like, if she just sits here, she's got the championship. If she's left, she's listening. She has no interest. And Ryza's gonna run straight into the back of Whitney Velvet anyway.
And hammering you here, the final nail in the coffin.
I thought it was the nail in the final coffin. But yeah, that will lock it in right there. One lap to go. No, I think this is her first one. Might be your second. I don't remember. Somebody should probably make some kind of statistic for that. Championships won. Races won is way too tall of an order, and I don't think either of us have the spare time for that. But championships won, especially considering they usually just come every 8th episode of the series, might be a little more manageable. But, not it. Fuck pressure. Even though of the three of us, I know it would be you who's the most likely to, because you do have the tendency to take on random shit like that in your spare time.
Sports is just great. I'm sorry, Isabelle Bubsy.
She's...
Go for second.
I mean, even if she damages the car now, it doesn't matter. Might as well go for the bonus points. Put on a show for the home fans. You know, she's always been a bit of a showwoman, whatever. How about showmanship? That terminology. Final time down the back straightaway. And we haven't even talked about the race leader because Yo's had this so comfortably in hand. Even if Barbara does have the fastest lap of the race by 3 seconds, it's... Okay, 2.5, but still.
Going down the mountain, Isabelle did set up some purple sectors.
Yeah, but she's caught up behind Maki, who's not been pushing the car. So I don't think she's gonna find a new fastest lap. Yo's gonna hit the final turn at Bathurst. She's going to win the race, but she's been a midfield driver for the rest of the championship, so she's not going to be any major threat. Maki's second, but Isabelle Aspinall...
Purple!
Never mind. She did in fact set the fastest lap while chasing Maki.
What is the pace of that Mustang in clean air?
This is a 675 car in disguise. I wouldn't be surprised if Isabelle ran this in a 675 class race instead of her modern Mustang. She would probably still keep up.
Yeah.
Even, I think I could also say the same for Mika Harris. It didn't get mentioned because Mika actually had some abysmal starting grid luck in the second half of the championship, but that is just as fast as Isabelle's. Isabelle just had the clutch factor and the better starting grid spots to make use of the car. But the final tally, Isabelle wins the championship by a staggering 9 points over Barbara, who takes 4th in the race, but, you know, ultimately there's just not much she could do. Despite me saying that Yo is a midfield driver, she was there in every single race, so that means that when she just suddenly pulls a win here, that put her 3rd in points at 74. Isabelle grabbed 87 of the 100 points on offer. She collected, I think that's 7/8 of the points that you could get in a single championship here. Barbara had 78, Yo 74, Ryza with the choke of the century finishes in dead last, and instead she will finish the championship at 69 points.
Nice.
Mika Harris with 68, Thomas O'Reilly with 60, Maki with 64, Thrasher with 60, Chica and Wanda Glass tie at 56, Daya and Rain tie at 51. Whitney Velvet with a grand total of 50. Silica with 44, despite some of the best average starting positions in the championship, never stayed near there at all because she was in the singular front-wheel drive car. Hilariously, posthumously, Dos Pointo's Roadster ties for fucking 15th in points with Kazuya Takahata being credited with third at the Watkins Glen race, despite her car being in pieces, probably contributed a lot to that.
Yeah.
Ruby 17th in points as the last driver to complete all 5 races. And then Vincent Houston 18th, Joshua Riggs 19th, and Sawatari dead last at 24, 16, and 8 apiece. Those 3, obviously, what happened to them. So
Ruby ran all the races and finished behind, what was it, 1 or 2 drivers that were taken out in the Watkins Glen fiasco?
Only behind Dos Pointo.
Wow.
She was 8 up from Houston, who was 8 up from Riggs, who was 8 up from Sawatari. Go figure. And then Dos Pointo tied Takahata, who also ran all of the races. I also just noticed on the spreadsheet here, Ruby also gained, the first 2 races, and then every subsequent race after that, she picked up 8 points. Mind you, especially after Watkins Glen, when 4 cars got taken out, the least you could score is 5. So, I think it'll be back to the drawing board for Ruby in the AE86. I know that's like her car, but might need to look at least something more competitive for 675 if and when she expands there. But that will do it for the Clubman Cup. Isabel Aspinall putting on a clinic to grab NFR Ford's first championship as a team. I feel like I've already said that, though. But she could not have... no, I think I'm getting confused with first win as a team, which happened recently, but she couldn't have won the Sunday Cup because she doesn't have a 600 class car, so nobody in that team actually does, for that matter. But that is it for the Clubman Cup. Next week you go back to normality with your standard affair of racing. But until then, au revoir or something, I don't fucking know.